Hey there folks, I'm Dan Brown from sortofinteresting.com and well, you're joining me here as we leave my friend's house for my first ever ride on a Fixie. I'd ridden about a mile on a Fixie up to this point, and as we leave the street here, this is about a 5 mile trip and I'm glad to say I didn't use the brakes, although points like this where it was narrow and required a lot of angling I found to be the more trickier parts, where I couldn't just stand still on the pedals to sort of lean me weight, because, well, obviously you have to keep pedalling. But as we head out into these random sort of back lanes, not too rural, I've got to say I found it, well, single speed I found perfect to ride, and I've been riding my mountain bike that had 15 gears practically in one speed, so I'm used to that. But what I certainly wasn't used to is here, as my hand sign is suggesting, just how fast the pedals were going to move on some of these downhill stretches. I mean, I really wasn't quite prepared for it. And you can imagine, well, obviously the pedals have to move if the wheels move in, and just how fast they go. So if you haven't been on a Fixie before and you're intending on travelling down some big banks, just think about that as a precaution that you'll be prepared for. But as we come into town here, this is, once again, you can see from my hand sign that I'm saying I'm using the pedals to brake, and obviously because I hadn't got any sort of previous Fixie experience, I was having to sort of brake and put my force on the pedals to take some speed out of the bike a lot sooner than probably once I've got better skills at this sort of thing in the future. And again here I had to stand up to really knuckle down on the pedals, as I didn't quite have control on the speed. A similar thing here, coming down these banks. Obviously there's people around, there's a road at the bottom, and certainly don't want to end up going through a shop window. So I had to stand on the pedals again to make sure that I didn't speed off, well, who knows, into one of those shops on the opposite side of the street there. No, it was certainly a fantastic experience, and I've ridden probably about 30 miles or so since this trip, and I've got no intention of moving back to non-fixed wheel, so I'll see how it goes. And well, make sure you stay tuned for a lot more videos as we pull up the good old house here. And well, this is, like I say, just my first ride. Stay tuned for more, and I'll do some proper longer rides with different obstacles and bits and pieces in. See you around soon.